You just got to do it. You got to do it. If it's the thing that you have been putting off, you're avoiding it, you resist, you know you need to do it. You get distracted, but you know you need to do it. And it's the thing that throughout your day comes over you in waves because you know you need to do it. Now, listen, I am not teaching or guiding you here. I still fall short in this area myself, but it's been a theme recently. And I thought about at what point in my life did I just start doing things? Because it radically transformed my life in the best way when I stopped letting things sit for long periods of time instead of just doing it. Because once you do it, it's out of the way. And I know you've had the experience where you go, why didn't I just do that to begin with? It didn't even take that long. One of my friends is starting on a new venture in her podcast world, and she was talking about the things that she would love to do and actually see how long it takes to do them, because we put it off for so long. But then when you actually do it, you have this realization that you could have just done that and got that off the list. So I showed her this picture of the top of my stove. I had a gas stove, and all this like junk had fallen down inside the gas stove top. And I was like, I feel like I just need to show this, that it has become such a part of my life, because the to stop and clean that up and then it's just going to get dirty again. My brain has shut it out. My brain has shut it out. My whole kitchen will be clean, but that stove will not be clean. And I will have this feeling like every once in a while when I have the awareness that I should clean that out, and I haven't. So anyway, she set off on her venture this past weekend, and she was doing some content filming. And on Sunday, I just pulled the grates up off the stove, took a paper towel, kind of a wet paper towel, wiped all that stuff up, and then I sanitized and degreased. And now my gas stove top is clean. And I sent her a message, and I said, I think I need to let you know that I was inspired by your ability to get things done. And I was listening to her, just like, I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it. I just got to turn my camera on and start filming and then editing. And like, it just got to do it. I know I can do it. I'm going to do it. And I was so inspired by that I cleaned the stovetop. And I told her that took me like 5 minutes. It was not even like a big deal. And now everything just looks really nice and clean. And it just got me thinking about how it was a few years ago, my husband and I both would have these moments where we're like, we need to do this, I need to drop by here, I need to go do this, I need to do that. And then I would either put it off, let it become this dreadful big thing, and I could just do it. So I remember, I'm pretty sure Tony is the one who led the way. One day, he just started doing the thing. If he's like, we need to order, I don't know, something for the blinds. Like we had this piece missing. Boom, he would just order it. The piece would come in, and he would figure out how to assemble the piece and get it up there, and he would just do it. Or I would say, like for example, we have the city trash cans where the trash, garbage not disposable. They come and pick up the trash. Well, we have 2 containers, and if you have 2 containers, you have to pay for the second one, or they will stop coming to get the trash in the second receptacle. So I had a letter come in the mail that said, you need to either send a check here or you can drop by. And I'm like, there's no way to just do this online. But it's been sitting on my mind because the deadline is March 31st. It's been sitting on my mind. So I left the letter in sight, because out of sight, out of mind. And throughout the day or in the middle of the night, or sometimes when I wake up, I'm like, oh, I need to go pay for that before I forget. I'm going to forget. And so the other day, I just dropped my little one off at daycare, and I was like, ooh, let me just run by this place really quick and pay for this receptacle. And I did, and went on about my day. Not the end of the world. But need to make a doctor's appointment, need to go to the dentist, need to just do it. Just do it. And that's why a lot of times if I'm at the doctor and they say, do you want to go ahead and make your next appointment? Or if this is at my nail appointment, hair appointment, whatever, you want to go ahead and make your next appointment? Yes, I do. Because if it's on my calendar, it's one less thing I have to do. I just have to show up. as opposed to having to show up. But then before that, I have to actually call and make the appointment. But it was through the little things of not letting things sit and fester and saying, I need to email that person back. Boom, email them. I need to respond to this thing. Don't put it off. Just do it. There is this space between the thought and the action, and we can absolutely sabotage ourselves in that space. And I've been in the mental headspace before where I'm like, I can't. It's just so hard and heavy. But just do it because you do have the power to do it. And so when I hear sometimes people that are these great motivational speakers and they say, you just do it, or if you feel like you don't want to be in certain relationships anymore, you just don't. And I love the simplicity of that because it's always complicated in my brain a little bit to know that there's all this in between and all this feeling and all this emotion and all this production around it. It doesn't have to be a big performance and a big production. You can just start participating or you can just stop participating. You truly embody that power to be able to just do it. When I'm talking to my blushing friends and they are like, I just can't. Why can't you? Yes, you can. But I can't. But you can. You can. Just do it. Well, what you're fighting is the discomfort. You're fighting the discomfort of what is it going to feel like? You're just going to be uncomfortable for a little while. But you get to choose what you're going to do with that afterwards. Are we just going to be uncomfortable? Are we going to move on? Are we going to process that and keep showing up? Because that's how we break through. And the same thing goes for anything beyond blushing. I'm so proud and inspired by my friend who started her podcast last year. It's called We Weren't Crazy. And she had this vision come to her, and the name came to her, and she spent a little bit of time, because she's definitely a high quality person. She spent a little bit of time getting the plan together, strategy. And I remember asking her, when do you guys film? When do y'all start filming? And boom, she gave a date. And she did it. She did it. They started filming. We Weren't Crazy as live. It's now transitioning to, it's evolving to a broader version of We Weren't Crazy. And she's just doing it. Just doing it. Ordered a camera, got it out of the box, turned it on, and just started doing the thing. That is how we learn to trust ourselves. And it's not only that we learn to trust ourselves, but we know we can trust ourselves because we do it. We do the thing. We show up when we need to show up. We stick with our commitments. And if we told ourselves we were going to do our workouts this week, we got our plan together, and then we execute on that plan. And then you get to the end of the week and you're like, I did that because I just did it. When I really wanted to go off the disciplined diet or whatever it is you're doing, I did it. There's been so many days where I have a workout and I just don't feel like it. And the workout sucks. But even just taking my body through the motions of the workout is doing something. Because guess what? Sometimes you come back the next day and you are crushing the next workout because your body just knows this is what we do, whether we like it or not, or whether we feel good or not. There's just certain things that we just need to do it. And we need to stop sabotaging ourselves and giving ourselves the time to sit and fester in it. And again, preaching to the choir a little bit on this one. We just got to do it. You cannot tell me that you haven't done the thing and then felt lighter because you did the thing, and then also feel kind of like badass because you were the one who held the power to do the thing. A lot of times when things are outside of us, we have the excuse of saying it's because of somebody else, it's because of this outside factor, and we can lean into that a little bit, even though we come across like we're really frustrated about it. Oh, I'm frustrated because I don't have full control. But then when we do, we're still our own problem. I often joke with my husband about how when we all shut down for the pandemic in 2020, and there were so many of us that were like, this is it. I don't have to go in the office anymore. I'm going to make my meals. I'm going to do my workouts throughout the day. Now I can lose weight and I can get in shape and I'm going to feel so great. how many of us did it. There were a few anomalies because I do remember some people in my sphere that absolutely just went hardcore and they looked like totally different people. They were feeling great. They were thriving. They had a good system down, but that wasn't me. I mean, I got pregnant. So I was taking care of some physical activity, just not the one that I was planning on. But nothing really changed. I actually just continued to do my workouts the way I had. It actually just threw my structure off because I used to do my workouts in the morning and then go to work, and it was the only time I could do them. But when I got to sleep in and stay up late, it threw me off, and I realized that yes, there is a big factor with the workplace and driving into the office and all of those things, but that I had removed the obstacle because I worked from home at that point. I still worked the same hours, but I was the one that wasn't showing up and doing the thing. I was the one who didn't have a plan or clarity around the plan that I wanted to execute on. So it all came down to me. And when it comes down to you, it is incredibly frustrating because there's no one to blame. And you have to get very, very real about what is true. But it's also very empowering because there's nobody in the way and it's just you. All you have to do is decide. All you have to do is do. All you have to do is go. All you have to do is just do it. Just do it. Just start doing it. Start one piece of it and see what happens. When I was struggling with postpartum depression, you have heard me tell this story probably so many times, but it's just so relevant. I would get really overwhelmed by laundry. I still get overwhelmed by laundry. And I would have these baskets of clean laundry everywhere. And I hated that. I hated living out of a basket. I hate digging through a basket. I want my stuff put up. But it would feel so overwhelming. It's so daunting and so heavy when you're fighting depression. And I would tell myself, just take one basket and pour it on the bed and just fold for as long as you can, as long as you want to, and then be done. The act of deciding and then doing, of pouring those clothes on the bed, I would start folding and not think about the other 4 baskets. I would just focus on that basket. And I had permission that if I don't want to finish this basket, I don't have to. I can fold a few things and throw the rest of the stuff back in the basket. But because I took the first step, which was pouring the clothes on the bed and starting the folding, there was momentum that started. Because things that are in movement will stay in movement, things that are in action will stay in action. Like it will continue to move. But there was permission to stop, and things that are in motion tend to stay in motion. Something about it didn't sound right, but that's what it is. Things that are in motion tend to stay in motion. And then why would I put them all back if I have already started? Let me just finish this one basket and then I'll be done. And a lot of times, once I finish that first basket, I'd say, well, I mean, I still have a little more time. I could just go ahead and do the second basket, but that's it, just the second basket and do the second basket. And then next thing you know, I would do it all. And I would feel so accomplished. And I'm not saying there's not days that you do one basket and you're like, that was it. I just wanted to do that one basket. That's good enough. But you moved into action. I think about that often when I have something that's a little daunting. And the more you move into action and practice, the more you trust yourself. Because I noticed the other day when my friend was saying, like, I just got to do it, I got to do it. And I thought about how I do things all the time. I don't even think about it. I just go, got to do this, boom, got to do this, got to do that, got to do this. And there are some things, obviously, like the stovetop, I just left it sitting there. But that is actually doesn't sit on my mind and bother me either until I walk in the kitchen and see that. But it's the deadlines. It's the definitely needing to make doctor's appointments because I had to cancel a doctor appointment recently, just an annual with my primary care because she moved away. It wasn't my fault, it was their fault. But it's on me now to find another doctor and book that appointment. That's really important to me. You got to go to your preventatives. And so, I got a couple of months to do that. And that weighs on me. There's a sticky note on my desk. I haven't done that yet. That's one that it's been sitting there. You got it. And the reason why I haven't yet is because I got to do some research. I got to actually find a doctor that I want. I just haven't had a great go with that yet here in South Carolina. But still, I'm in my own way. It's very important to me to go get my blood work done and make sure that I'm doing good. And if I'm not doing good, then we catch it early and we have a high survival rate. Like, how about that? still sitting on me. It's all on me. And so when my friend this weekend was just doing the thing, doing the thing, doing the thing, it made me think about how, yeah, I don't know at what point. I remember it used to feel so dreadful that I had to make a phone call and set an appointment or do something or go pay a bill in person. That would, it would just be like the end of the world until I started doing it. And it is like building a muscle. The more you use it, it's easier to use. It's muscle memory. You don't even think about whether you should or shouldn't. You just do it. There's not a lot of pause for in between thinking. It's just go, do it. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So if you haven't been a person who's been in motion and you've been sitting around and there's all these things on your to-do list, or you really want to go somewhere or do something and you've been wanting to go and that's on your bucket list, just do it. Do it. Make that first choice. So the thing is, we have to notice. I've been putting this off for a long time. We have to interrupt. We got to interrupt the loop, interrupt the pattern. And so, what does that interruption look like? That interruption looks like, hey, I actually want to go to this women's group. I want to go to the dinner club. I want to go, whatever it is for you, like a networking group. I want to go to the gym. I really want to go do that thing. So you're making a decision. This is what I want. You're getting clear about what you want. And then you will choose to go, choose to go find the event, to look up where you're going, take the time for that. You're going to choose. And then you're going to change for the better to encompass all of who you are, because that's where the suffering is coming from, the resistance, the cognitive dissonance. I feel like I'm here. I know I'm supposed to be over there. I know there's more for me. This is not a striving thing. This is not a striving thing. I'm not saying like you got to go strive and push so hard. I'm saying you just got to make the choice and then do the thing. And that's why I say here for Blushing Phoenix, as the channel has evolved, that it's about learning to trust yourself. And then that's just part of it. We can learn all day, but then what do you do with that? How do your behaviors change afterwards? It's the action that will create the change. The learning is the knowing, the action is the movement that matches the outcome, matches the behavior to get the outcome that you're looking for. So when I say Blushing Phoenix, it is to notice. This is how we trust ourselves. We notice the loop, we notice the pattern, we notice the behavior, whether in us or somebody else. There's a notice moment. And then there's an interruption. We don't let that thing continue. Maybe it finished its loop the first time, but now we're sitting with it and we're like, I did that thing again where I didn't just do what I was supposed to do. You're noticing. That's an accomplishment. It's a big part of it. Then you choose. Well, I'm not doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to get up. For example, I've got clothes in the back of my car right now that need to go to a Goodwill or some clothes drop. And my husband loaded those into the car because now it's created an inconvenience for me, because right now I just grabbed groceries. I was going to put groceries in the back, but those bags are back there. So I need to go take those and drop those off. And so I already made the choice that today when I go to pick up my son, I'm going to drop those off on the way because it's on the way. I'm going to drop those off. And then there's change. We're not sitting around waiting. You hear me? We are not sitting around waiting for somebody else. We're not going to sit around and wait and act like it's going to go out of our mind and we can just push it out of our mind and it won't come back around. It's going to torment us. Why would we want to torment ourselves? Why don't we clear that space for other things to come to us, other good things, for peace? So just do it.